Do you have any questions around the motorcycle learner license and the K53 motorcycle license test in South Africa? I'm sure you do. My name is Hein, and I'll be addressing 9 of the most common questions I've been asked over the years and still get asked to this day around this particular subject. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you a very valuable tip for those who are getting their learner licenses for the first time. If you're 16 years old, just bear with me until the end of the video. It's very valuable, especially for the parents as well, and it saves you a lot of time and money. The first questions I get asked is, I do not have a learner license, but I'd like to get one before I get a bike. Wise choice. And I think it's quite obvious why that's a wise choice. You would have to be at a minimum age of 16 years to get or to apply for a motorcycle learner license test. It is a computer-based test, and you can purchase a K53 book from P&A or CNA or any book outlet, or even online, and any links I refer to throughout this video, the links will be in the description, and you can go and look at which books I recommend, and also online resources as far as a mobile app or an online resources where you can go and pre-test yourself for your learner license test before you actually go and do one, because it's just very discouraging when you go for your test and you fail. So make sure you pass it the first time and don't think you know everything. Just get some time into that book and before you go for your test. It just increases your chances of a first pass. So addressing that question, you have to be at a minimum age of 16 years to apply for a motorcycle learner license test. And you can go and do that at any local licensing department where you would get your car license or a car learner license or whatever. Any licensing department close to you, you can go and apply and book your learner license test. You would need to have a few things with you. Normally it is a copy of your ID and 2 ID photos. It could be color or black and white, preferably color. But I would suggest that you check with your local test station or test center what those requirements are, because it could differ from province to province. There's also a certain amount that you'd have to take with you when you book, and also when you pass your test, a license issue fee that you also have to pay. So I recommend you take with you about 250 Rand. Should cover everything as far as your ID photos, and also you would have to get an eye test done. You can do that at the test center. Sometimes you can go and get that eye test done at an optometrist to try and save time in a queue, so that they give you an eye test certificate that's valid for the application for your learner license. Just make sure that you also have a copy of, like I said, your ID and also proof of residence. Now, if you are staying with your parents, they would have to give you an affidavit saying that this person, name, surname with ID number, stays with me at this address, and that has to be certified by a local police station or body of authority before you go through with your application at the test center. Just to make sure you get that paperwork with you. Like I said again, ID photos, at least 2 ID photos. Nowadays they take digital photos of you, but just take it with you just in case. 250 Rand, more or less, a copy of your ID, and then proof of residence in your name, and if it doesn't, then your parents, your father or mom has to write a letter saying that you stay with them, and they would have to attach a proof of address in their name to this affidavit that now gets certified by your local authorities, and you go through and you go and apply for your learner license test. The link for the book that I recommend, there are about 3 or 4 on the market, but a specific one, the link to that book is in the description of this video below. So please have a look at which book. This book is most accurate compared to what you'll see in the test. There are questions about road signs, road rules, and also questions about motorcycle controls. Those are the only things you have to study. All the road signs, all the road rules, and everything about motorcycle controls in the book. Throughout the book, you also have a few mock tests and questions. And at the end of the book, you also have quite a significant test that you can go through just to see that you pass that test and you're good to go for the actual learner license. Otherwise, get the app or do it online, do that pre-test just to make 100% sure that you pass the test the first time. Question number 2. Now that you have your learner license, how do you get trained? Now, MSI as an organization do not train the K53 test, and also do not provide assistance with obtaining the learner license. For this, we refer you to riding schools throughout the country. These people, they can help you and train you up as far as your preparation for the K53 practical yard test. Now, this test is only done in the yard, it's not done on the road. Unfortunately, we're the only road users in this country that do not have to go out on the road to do a test, and yet we get licensed to ride our motorcycles out in traffic. Anyway, moving on with that one. So the link again to riding schools will be at the description of this video. I suggest that you go and do a few lessons, whether it's on your own bike or whether it is on one of the riding school bikes. Make sure that if you're 16 or 17 years old, you will not be allowed to do the test on a motorcycle bigger than a 125cc. Yes, those two ages, 16 and 17, you would have to apply for a code A1 license and then do your test on a bike not bigger than a 125cc. If you're 18 and older, do the test on a motorcycle bigger than that, a 150cc and up, so that you get a code A license, which is open to any size or capacity motorcycle, and also whether it's automatic, scooter, or a geared motorcycle. The note on that, we'll probably get to another question later on, but make sure that if you do your license on a scooter, your test, you will only be licensed to ride an automatic gearbox. You will not be licensed to ride a geared motorcycle. So don't shoot yourself in the foot unless you're contenting. You'll be riding a scooter for the rest of your life. Otherwise, do your test on a geared motorcycle, and you're training as well, and then do your test on a geared motorcycle, and you'll get an unrestricted license, code A, that's open to ride anything, scooter, automatic, or a geared motorcycle. When you book your K53 test, again, you'd have to have a copy of your ID, proof of residence, and also if you live with someone else and the proof of residence is not in your name, it has to be in the other person's name you're staying with, and they have to write an affidavit saying that you are living with them, name, surname, ID number, and then mention the address and have that certified with a copy of the proof of address in the other person's name attached to that before you go through your test center and go and book your practical test. I don't recommend you do the training too in advance from the actual test date. Go for a lesson first on the K53, then go book your test. And then closer to the time of your test, a week or so before the test, go and do a refresher. That way you can be certain that you will pass that test the first time. You do not want to fail because you try to take shortcuts or cut corners. It really will come around and bite you. This question, I think I addressed in the previous one. Question number 3 is, do I have to use my own bike for training and the K53 motorcycle test? Not necessarily, no. If you work through a riding school and they have bikes that you could hire from them, then you do the training on one of the riding school bikes, and you also do the test on the riding school bikes. Do not try and again take shortcuts. If you're a big dude and you try and get away with a little 150cc, these traffic officers and test officers are not stupid. They can see that you're trying to cut corners and make it easy for yourself. Go with the bike that you're most comfortable with. If you've been riding a 1200 GS for a year and you're very comfortable and you've done some training or if you've done a lot of riding on that, go and do the first session of the K53 with a riding school on your own bike. And if the instructor advises you that you should maybe rather consider riding a smaller bike, then get off your big bike and do it on a smaller bike. But if you just decide, listen, I'm going to do it on a smaller bike, and you insist to the riding school, that's what you do. Believe me, from a big bike and being a big person, or a tall person, and getting on a smaller bike could be a whole new riding experience. The controls are different, the riding position is different, everything is just different, and it starts to irritate you. So get on a bike and do the training and the test on a bike that you're most comfortable with. Obviously make sure that your bike is roadworthy, and the instructor, when they take you through the pre-trip inspection, they will take you through and hopefully make sure that your bike is good to be used for the test as well, including license discs and number plates and everything that goes with it. All right, so that's it. You don't have to use your own bike, but if you do have your own bike and it's completely road legal and you're very comfortable on it, do the training and do the test on your own bike. It'll just feel so much better when you go back to your mates and you say, I've got my license, and they say, yeah, but you've done it on a smaller 125 or 150cc. Come on, you know. Just do it on your own bike if you have the skills, and if you don't, that's probably a sign that you should do other training to make you more comfortable on your own bike. On to the next question, number 4. Can I get a bank finance with only a learner license? Yes, you can. Yeah, you can get bank finance or for your motorcycle on a learner license only. There are folks that can afford to pay cash for a bike. But yes, you can get bank finance through for your motorcycle. Keep in mind also that if you end up doing, let's say for instance, you do an advanced rider course, make sure you send a copy of your certificates to your insurance company so they can add that to your portfolio, and you will most probably, in most cases, you will see that your premium drops a percentage, because they can see that you've done additional training and you're a better or a safer or more effective rider. So consider more advanced training once you have your license. On to the next question. Question number 5. Can I do my K53 test on a scooter? Of course you can. It's got 2 wheels, you can. But keep this in mind, and I also addressed it in the previous question, that if you do your test on a scooter, and let's not look at the age yet. If you do your test on a scooter, whether you're 16, 17 or older, 18 and older, on the back of your license, it'll show a restriction to an automatic gearbox only. So if ever you upgrade the scooter to a geared motorcycle, you would have to do your learner license again. You'd have to do your practical test again to get a code A unrestricted license. So I suggest to those who just say, I want to ride a scooter, fair enough. If you're 100% sure that you'll be riding a scooter for the rest of your life, then do your test, your training and the test on a scooter. But if you really want to open it up for yourself a little bit, then do your training and the test on a geared motorcycle. If you don't have one, if you have a scooter but you want to do your test, then you hire the geared motorcycle from the riding school. Let them train you on that bike and also do your test on a geared motorcycle. Then you get a code A or code A1. Open license, and you can actually, from a geared motorcycle, you can legally ride a scooter if you want to. And if ever you upgrade, your license is still valid for the motorcycle that you want to ride. Don't shoot yourself in the foot with this one. Keep your mind open and do the test or the training on a geared motorcycle. I know there are certain very good reasons people feel they want to ride a scooter, fair enough, but don't forget about the restrictions you'll have on your license if you go for your test on a scooter. On to the next question. What type of motorcycle licenses do you get? Now, 16 and 17, when you're issued with a full license, it is a code A1 license. That means you're 16 and 17, and it's only up to a 125cc. So if you turn 18 and you now upgrade your motorcycle to a 250 or a 150 and up, you would have to do your learner license again, your full motorcycle test again, before they issue you with a code A license, which is now a motorcycle's bigger, 150cc and a bigger capacity. You'll see the tip at the end of this Q&A. I'll give you a tip that parents and kids 16 and 17 should keep in mind before they go and do their learner license tests. Just hang on a second. So, on to the next question. Just before I go there, the code A, obviously, like I said, the code A is an open license, but you, as a 16, 17-year-old, you cannot apply for a code A license. It must be a code A1. All right. up to 125cc. Code A is 150cc and up. Question number 7. I've got my code A motorcycle, code A1 motorcycle license, but now I want to upgrade my code A license. Do I have to redo my learner license? Yes, you have to. If you're sitting, like I mentioned that before, if you're sitting with a code A1 license and you're upgrading your bike to a bigger motorcycle from a 125 up to 150 or 150cc and up, then you would have to do your learner license again. You have to do your practical yard test again before you get issued with a code A license. All right, so stick to the end for the tip I'm going to give you. That's simple as that. So, question number 8. What are the minimum ages for both the motorcycle learner license and the K53 test? The minimum age is 16 to apply for a motorcycle learner license. The minimum age is age 16. So if you're in any other age, obviously you can go and apply for your learner license, but you have to be a minimum age of 16. All right, got that. Question number 9. Can I do my test on a trike or a motorcycle with a sidecar? Absolutely not. The test facilities do not provide for these type of vehicles. You still have to go and do your test on a two-wheeled motorcycle to obtain a license for a trike or a motorcycle with a sidecar. If you have certain limitations, as far as maybe you've lost a limb and you cannot operate a two-wheel motorcycle, then the only suggestion I can make to you is to renew your learner license every 2 years. That way you ride around with a learner license and you're still legal on that trike or on that motorcycle with a sidecar. Just keep in mind also the legal aspects around this, so make sure you look at your rules and regulations as far as traffic laws are concerned, but you cannot do the test on a trike or on a motorcycle with a sidecar. The test facilities or curriculum does not allow for that. On to that tip that I wanted to give you throughout the whole thing. If you're 16 or 17, or let's say you just turned 16, and you want to go and get your learner license for a motorcycle, do not go and apply for that straight away. Wait about 2 months before you go and apply for your learner license. Why? Because if you go and do your learner license test within a week or so from turning 16, by the time your learner license expire and you now about to turn 18, your learner license is about to expire. And at the age of 18 is usually where you want to upgrade your license to a code A or a big bike license. And now your learner license is expired. You can't get a test date soon enough to do the test on the current learner license, and your learners expire, and you've got to go through the whole process again. Learner license test, K53 motorcycle test, and then go do the test on a big bike. So wait about 2-3 months before you go and apply for your learner license. At the time that you turn 18, your learner license that you have is still valid. And with that same learner license, you go and apply for your code A motorcycle test, and you do the test, and it's end of the story. Save yourself a lot of time, effort, and money, and standing in the queue, obviously, to go through the whole process again. Wait 2 to 3 months before you go and do your learner license as a 16-year-old, so that you can do your test, your practical test, once you turn 18 on the same learner license. The learner license does not restrict you as to what you ride. Your age does. So if you're 16 and 17, you will not be allowed to ride a motorcycle bigger than a 125cc by law. All right, folks, I hope this Q&A has really helped you. The link for these questions and answers is in the descriptions below. Please have a look at that. If you have any other questions around this, drop me an email or comment in the video below, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. But also look at the riding schools we have listed. The link is also in the description below to all the riding schools we have listed on our website. Contact them and work through them for your motorcycle test. Some do offer classroom sessions for learner license as well for bigger organizations and fleets. please work through them. If you do not have a riding school in your area, then it's probably a good idea for you to travel to one if you can. If not, then let us know and we'll see what the feasibilities are to help start up a riding school in an area where no training is offered. All right, thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Until the next one, stay safe and good luck with your test. Bye-bye.